All right, so listen, man. I'm excited, 5 days out from season 3 of Into the Badlands, easily the best show on AMC. So we're going to get into the Badlands today because listen, guys, I've been watching season 1 and 2 and I've noticed some things. I've been going back over season 1 and 2, trying to get my mind right, trying to get ready for season 3, because let me tell you, from what I've read, we are in for a treat. And from what I've read, some things are going to get turned on their head in season 3. So I cannot wait. I told you before in some of the other videos that the characters in this show, even though they are crafted to be familiar to you, they are never predictable. So it'll be interesting to see what season 3 brings to us, which is funny because I heard some comments about the show saying, oh, it's pretty predictable. It's not predictable. It is not that. This is an awesome show. Now, I just thought about something. Maybe you don't know what I'm talking about. Maybe you've never seen it. Maybe you've never, no, forget that. Maybe you've never experienced it. The wonder that is Into the Badlands. And if you haven't, all I can do is say sorry, but I can point you in the right direction. If you have Netflix, or you can go back and watch the old episodes on AMC, season 1 and 2, get caught up. It's very bingeable. I guarantee you, started on a Friday night, you'll be ready to go by Sunday at 10. You'll be all caught up, ready for season 3. It is the best show on AMC, and one of the missions of this channel is to push that narrative, to make it the best show on AMC. So what we're going to do is we're going to do our best in our small little space on the internet, in our little corner of YouTube, on this small little YouTube channel. We are going to do our best to make sure that everybody knows what this show is and that they're watching it. So I've been going back over seasons 1 and 2, as I said, just trying to get my mind right. And listen, I noticed something that's pretty cool about the fight choreography. And again, one of the things that's so impressive about this show is how everything works together to push the narrative forward. So here's the deal. Have you ever noticed that the fight choreography coincides with the character development and the characteristics of the individual character? So here's an example of what I mean. I'm going to show you some clips of this as well, because I want to see if you agree with me after seeing the clips. So if you take, for example, Minerva, the widow, who is probably my favorite character on the show. I love you, Minerva. And Emily Beecham plays Minerva. She is awesome. So one of the characteristics about Minerva that I love about her is that she is very ladylike. She's very poised. She's very elegant, even in her movements, just her overall character development. That's who she is. But she's also quite vicious. So I love the way that they've crafted the fighting style of how she is around her character. They've given her kind of very poised and elegant and sleek weaponry. She uses the daggers, and she also uses the straight sword. But not only have they done that with the weaponry, they've done that with how she fights too. Watch her movements. Watch her movements. Her movements are graceful yet elegant. Her movements are graceful yet deadly. Everything about her, who she is as a character, is reflected in this narrative, even when she is fighting. So I said to myself, man, that's impressive. Because one of the things that's so great about Into the Badlands that makes it such a great show, one of the reasons probably the show has climbed the ladder, I believe it's in AMC's, or not even AMC's, I think it's in cable TV's top 10 of, I think it's considered an action drama, is because everything in this show, everything pushes the narrative forward. Everything. The world building, the character development, the dialogue, the story, the everything pushes this narrative forward. Nothing is wasted. I actually created a small video that I put on Twitter that said, listen, when you're watching the show, you have to be careful to make sure that you notice everything. Watch what the camera shows you when there's no dialogue, because nothing is wasted in this work. That's one of the things that makes the work so powerful, and it's one of the things that pulls people in. As a matter of fact, if you've not seen this show, here's what I want you to do. I issue this challenge to everybody. All you have to do is watch the first 10 minutes of season 1, episode 1, and I promise, check the box and you'll be hooked. And you'll be joining us, hopefully, here on Dark Side Movie Reviews. There is a mega cool Facebook group for Into the Badlands, and I'll be sure to put a link to that group in the description below. So make sure you check it out, and I'm actually also part of that community as well. So they actually have a little test to see how much you know about the show before they'll let you join. One of those questions had me sweating, and I consider myself a super fan. I was like, man, I don't know the answer to this. But they were gracious enough to let me in. I did answer 2 of the questions out of 3 right, so that was enough. But there is a Facebook group going on. There's a Reddit group built around this. So a lot of places to get into it. A lot of folks on Twitter following this as well. So I want to encourage you guys to jump into the different communities. And again, we hope that this is one of them. You'll do that as well and really get into this show. Anyway, so we were talking about the fight choreography. So you not only see this with Minerva, the widow, but you see it with other people as well. So let's talk about Nathaniel Moon, or Silver Moon. Now, we didn't see a lot of Nathaniel. Unfortunately, we really only got one episode of him. I believe it was from season 1, at the very end of season 1, or maybe I think it was season 2. Actually, we saw Moon. But Moon is the same thing. When you see Moon, huge presence on screen, big guy. With a little bit of a gentle delivery in how he talks, but at the same time, his tone, or what you really would almost qualify as an atmosphere kind of revolving around him, right, is shoot. Hold on, you guys. All right, sorry, you guys. Someone was actually knocking at my door. So we were talking about Nathaniel Moon, also known as Silver Moon. So even with him, when you look at the choice of weaponry that he has, which is a broadsword, but it's also a very heavy looking sword. It's also a sword that is representative of power, because when you look at him, when you just watch everything about him on screen, a very powerful character. But if you look at his choice of weaponry and even look at his fighting style, very strong, very powerful strikes. His style is a lot different than Sunny's, who has a style that's a lot more fluid in terms of its movement, a lot lighter. Everything about the way that Silver Moon fights is very heavy, very forceful, very powerful, and he will literally knock your block off. Check out season 2 and you get to see a little bit of that on the bridge scene. It's incredible. So one of the things you notice is how every element of this story has really been crafted to either support the character development and really give you a nuance of what this character is like in every fashion, whether you see them fighting, whether you see them just in interactive dialogue with other folks in the narrative. Everything about the way that this show works is crafted to build a story and push the narrative forward. It's super impressive. It really is super impressive. And it's one of the reasons why we want to get so much exposure to this show. I'm not getting paid a dime from AMC. I don't even know that AMC knows that I have this channel. But the point is, it's so enjoyable, man, and we just love every aspect about it. So season 3 promises to give you more, with the addition of some new cast members with some really interesting ideas for how their story is going to be built out. I don't know exactly, but I've been reading a lot about it, so we're really looking forward to season 3 as well. So anyway, I wanted to kind of give you those examples. Let's do one more. So let's take Sunny, since we brought Sunny up. Now Sunny is the same thing. So Sunny is a character to me that's a little bit brooding, that's always kind of focused, but does have a very moral streak running through him. But even Sunny's fighting style is very cater to who he is as a character, what his personality is like, what his character development is like. And one of the things you notice about Sunny is that he's kind of a middle ground character. I think he's kind of a mix for me of powerful strikes and fluidity, which also matches who he is as a character. He has a fighting style that's very adaptive, which also matches who he is as a character. So it's just so crazy, because when you see all of these elements come together to create a show so unique, so enjoyable as Into the Badlands, you can't help but get into it. So you guys, listen, if you're not watching this show, then hopefully I've said something. Hopefully you've seen something here to get you excited, to get you in front of that TV at 10 o'clock on AMC on Sunday nights to get into this. So we got season 3 coming up. Listen, guys, hopefully you enjoyed this. If you're new here, hopefully you are intrigued enough to sub and join the community as we get heavily into this. We do also do other movie reviews and things like that of this nature. We also love comics on this channel as well. So guys, thank you so much again for visiting. If you like this, then give it a thumbs up. Also share this as well, because we really are trying to spread the word about Into the Badlands and really trying to get more eyes on this so that we can broaden our discussion as well. Thanks so much, you guys, and I will see you on the next video. Peace.